I am Israel. This is Amber. This is To Win Begins Within. This is men's relationship wisdom. The topic of this video is man's plan should be to chase excellence regardless of anything else. So the main plan that a man should have is to chase excellence. So now we're going to do, what does that mean exactly? So chase excellence kind of boils down to constant improvement. Now, the thing is constant improvement towards what grounds? It should be always self-directed, because it's something that you benefit and nobody can take away from you.
Absolutely.
So there's basically 3 components that I recommend that you should focus on because they're the most important things. These are games that you're going to have to play regardless. So one of them is the most important thing is health. So if you don't have health, you have nothing else. It doesn't matter if you're the richest, you're the smartest, you're everything. If you don't have health, nothing else matters.
No, it doesn't.
So that should be the main concern, is your health, to preserve your health and to have good health. So that's the first one. So how do you chase that excellence in health? Well, it's being in shape, it's being capable, it's having fitness so that you can do the things that you need to do. So just capability, just in itself, a lot of us take it for granted until they get older. So you don't see the results of your bad habits until way later.
Yeah, and we have a video on it too to check out. It's called the 7 Pillars of Health, or the 8 pillars. So
So there's some of them things like there's some people that are having trouble to walk, their bone density is going down. Usually if you don't take your vitamins, you won't feel the damage. But in 20, 30 years, you might. If you are deficiency in some kind of vitamin, you won't see the results until later. That's why that when we feel good, we think we are good. But over a long run, we don't know. So prevention is the key. So it's like, take your vitamins. So me, I go to a little bit extreme. I just avoid any kind of sports, really, because I have this body I take care of. I have no broken bone. I don't play sports. Nothing hurts. I never felt any injuries on stuff like that, because why am I going to put my body that I have to live with for the rest of my life, that I depend on, and put it in a risky situation? There's people that rip their muscles, they tear bones, they get into situations. I don't do any extreme sports. I don't do that stuff. And it seems like, oh man, you're just a lame ass. Well, the thing is, I'm healthy. Nothing hurts. There's some people at the gym, they're like, oh, I can't do that because this, oh, I have
my lower back.
My lower back, my this and that. And I was like, you know what? I'd just rather conserve my health. I don't risk it.
Well, and not just that, but a lot of people, I think, try to like shame you into or guilt you by not playing sports. But like, oh, but you get such a good network. It's like, yeah, but you don't need to play sports to network. You can do it in other ways that maybe are better.
They camouflage it because the probability is that if you are in some kind of physical sport, you're going to get an injury. And when you get an injury, you're very useless. So I want to be very useful. I go to the extreme where I even try to keep my driving to a minimum. Because that increases the probability of me getting an accident. Getting an accident really fucks you up if you get in a bad one.
Right.
Now, that's highly improbable. Yes, you're more careful. Yes. So like at nighttime or stuff like that, I don't go out really.
Yeah, we try to go where there's less traffic. So
the less I have to drive, the better.
Right.
I don't even go swimming because, it just sometimes it's like, I don't even want to get the possibility of drowning or losing some air, because I know some people that haven't gotten enough air to their system and it fucks them up for the rest of their life. They're not the same.
Right.
So it's like, yeah, I take a little bit extreme on some things. Like say, even if I go to a certain person's place, if they have dogs, I'm really eyeing them, because sometimes I see dogs go out of control and bite somebody and they bleed to death and stuff like that. Yeah, it's a little bit extreme, but I'm a little bit extreme with my life.
Yeah, it is.
So I just watched out just so you get an idea. So I just don't do certain things. I'm just trying to be careful. I avoid dangerous jobs just to avoid that possibility. I've seen some injuries when I used to work, so I just avoid that. So I mean, just be precautious about your health, especially your body. So that's just one of them. Your mental health is another one. So that creates a lot of worry. You put yourself in predicaments. So it's like the basic recipe. What I'm trying to tell you is you have to put yourself, not to win, to put yourself in a position, don't lose.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say. So just take out of it, like, don't lose. Don't put yourself with people that you're not comfortable with, that you might be in danger. If you're going to a party, people carry guns, knives, be respectful, because you don't know who's carrying. You could piss off at the wrong person at the wrong time,
Right.
and they just take it out on you because you don't know. So
There's a lot of factors that are out of your control.
Plan for the worst and hope for the best.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically it. So chasing excellence is that you have to get better on those things. So it's taking care of your diet, taking care of your physical body. Don't take unnecessary risk. You know, who you hanging out with. Are they adding stress to your life? Are they helping you? So that's why you have to be real careful who you associate with.
Yep.
So if you're chasing excellence, that's one. And then you go to the wealth side. The wealth side is two of them, is your intellectual assets and your physical assets. Get the skills that you need to build a better character because that's investing in yourself. Mm-hmm. It's going to benefit yourself. Like I always said before about health, if you exercise, it's going to benefit you. Mm-hmm. If you eat right, it's going to benefit you. If you acquire the skills that you do intellectually, nobody's going to take them away from you. If you get a divorce, they're not going to take it away. So that leads to the thing. The more intelligent the skills that you pick, mm-hmm. the better that your life is going to be because you identify the opportunities that mm-hmm. matter. So you're going to be more knowledgeable and more actionable in your health and in your mental health and then on your physical assets. You're going to get the things that had instrumental value mm-hmm. and not so many intrinsic value.
Right. So skills that are more beneficial because not all skills are worth the same. So exactly. Things that you can transfer maybe into multiple facets of your life.
So the meta skills. So like if mm-hmm. you learn sales, I mean, where is not sales not beneficial? Marketing, yeah. mm-hmm. negotiation,
focus,
a charm,
learning
rapport,
how to learn.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So mm-hmm. those are the skills that you can use in all facets of life. So that one, naturally, if you become more intelligent and you act on it, then you will get more assets that actually are beneficial. Mm-hmm. So the intellectual side will benefit you on the physical assets. And since you are in a not to lose, then you will go into relationships and recognize those predatory people.
Right.
Because there's people that are going to try to con you, try to get things out. Mm-hmm. So it's like your plan, if you get women, not to get women, is she always goes in excellence, primary, and everything secondary. Because if you focus on yourself and you focus on excellence, mm-hmm. a requirement to be excellent is prevention. Don't lose what you have.
Right.
It's not just creation, it's prevention. So when somebody's broke, their plan is offense. Let's score some points.
Right.
Once you have a lot of points, then you switch to defense. So when you make a lot of money, you have all these things, you have to switch to defense. Mm-hmm. So knowing before you have anything is that you have to prevent not losing what you have. Mm-hmm. Then you create, then you prevent not losing what you created. So you have to be more on defense. If you have a lot of money, you have to be on the defense that nobody takes it from you because now you got something to lose. So now you have health. If you're one of the person that has health, it's like you're already rich. Don't have somebody take it. See, that's why I don't play sports because I don't want somebody taking my health.
Right.
I don't want to put myself in situations where it takes my health. I don't want to put myself in situations where it's unnecessary stress that puts worry into my mental health. I mm-hmm. want peace. So mm-hmm. I cater to those things that give me peace.
Right.
So knowing that is what is an intellectual asset, where to go, what to do. If mm-hmm. you always are chasing those things, then you become valuable. And I always say when you're valuable, then you recognize other value and then you pick better relationships. Mm-hmm. Because the relationships that what you want and you're going to attract is a win-win. Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of people that are win-lose.
Or when I don't care.
Or when I don't care. As long as I win, I don't care what happens to you. And there's some people that want to win under your cost. They feel like they're winning when you lose.
Yeah.
Because what happens is a lot of people are self-interested and a lot of people get off feeling superior to the other one. So if you lose and they win, they feel superior and that feels mm-hmm. good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a dark side in life.
Mm-hmm.
But if you always chase excellence, then you know what to recognize. And if you know they're not excellent, then you know that they're not good for you. Mm-hmm. It's like, how do you know who is good and who is bad? Because you have to become good so you recognize those things. Mm-hmm. Because you have done it.
Right. That's like when you focus on these things, you learn how to evaluate. You learn what value is, and you can better recognize it. So, like you were saying earlier, you don't play sports, but that doesn't mean that you just sit on the couch all day or wrapped in bubble wrap. No, it's like you still work out, you still take care of your health, but you figured out which ones are worth more than others. So there's that trade-off. There are some things that you can do that are more beneficial than others. So learning the right skills, the right relationships, because when you have the wrong relationships, that's how people get affected the most. The relationships by your people that surround you are the ones that influence you a lot.
A lot of people say that, but once you start doing it, then you start getting the benefits.
Exactly.
So it's like, would you rather have the knowledge of how to make $1 million or the $1 million?
The knowledge.
The knowledge, because you can make $1 million. If you know how to make $1 million, believe me, you can make another $1 million.
Right. You can replicate it, reproduce it.
But nobody wants to work for it. So when you invest in something in yourself, everything can be taken away from you. Or if you have to go somewhere else, and the government is not here to help you. It's here
for their benefit.
For their benefit. And what happens is, if you have skills that they can't take away, that's what you really own, and that's what's excellent.
Right.
So that's what you want to shoot for, those three things. Your health first, and then your wealth. So your health is your physical health and your mental health. Your wealth is your physical assets and your intellectual assets. Once you have those two, then you recognize what relationships are good for you. That's where that saying goes. Once you become real good, game recognizes game. If you don't have game, then you won't recognize it. You can't differentiate. So that's what you need to escalate. As you escalate, your relationship is improved. That's why I say you should replace as you escalate. You should upgrade as you escalate. So the girls, if they're not keeping up with you, and if you step up your game, then you recognize they're not good for you. You need to replace them if they're not catching up with you.
Yeah,
and that's all relationships,
I was
guys.
Say, yeah, that's all relationships. They could be your friendships, family, mentors, because sometimes some mentors are only going to take you so far. So sometimes you need to upgrade your mentor.
Yeah.
The student surpasses the
beat
teacher.
Their level. Yeah, exactly. So always, your goal should always strive for excellence in those three things. The first two qualifies for relationships. And after you have relationships, after you have health, wealth, and relationships, then you can go after what you desire in that order. So that's what I think. This is what we think. Let us know what you guys think. Put your experiences in the comments so other people can read them, so they can learn from your pain or your wisdom to help everybody
do better.
Do better, yes, exactly. Thank you.
Like, comment, and share. Thank you.